What is up, you guys? Fightful.com here with the SmackDown review show. I'm your host, Robert DeFelice, and I am joined on this fine Friday evening by a professional wrestler, a lover of pineapples, a man who stepped into Raw Underground, a man who is an amateur prosecutor, and according to some of the comments here, was rigged. He had a rigged trial, rigged jury. I'm here with Sugar Dunkerton. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Got to kick back, watch a little wrestling, kind of drown my sorrows after the very eventful Wednesday that we had. It's like it's one thing to lose, but when you're the number one trend in the United States and you lose, a lot of people got a lot of things to say. So yeah.
Now we are definitely gonna get into that. But before we do talk about the trial of the century, we got to talk about Friday Night SmackDown. And of course, guys, get your super chats in, get your question or statement read on the air. Subscribe to Fightful Select. That is our lifeblood. Alex Pulowski will be doing Sour Graps covering SmackDown tomorrow. He does Sour Graps after Raw. He covers NXT. We also had the Fightful Weekender and a Q&A with Sean Ross Sapp. But let's just get right into the show because John Cena is back, and John Cena kicked out this show, and this Cleveland crowd was hot. What did you think about John Cena?
So you're going to see as a theme for me when we talk about this episode, energy. Man, and it wasn't just like the crowd. It's like the performers. And like, you know, when Cena come in and he hit the Denzel voice, when he cutting the promo, you already know. You already know it's about to be some business. And it's just, I was really feeling it. It's like, you could tell he's not back for a check. Like he's really out there having a good time, playing with stuff. And the other thing about it, when I talk about energy, you know, they talk about like scripted promos all the time. Ain't no way like that was scripted. That man was off the dome with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just having fun with it, dude. And I think he was really putting his energy out there, and the people were giving it right back. And I was feeling it, dude.
It's next level with John. John really is one of those guys. He's a Hogan level. He's a Rock level. He's Austin. People just connect with him. And for the first time, it seems like more people are happy to see him than wanting him to go away. And he, like he did on Monday, he calls out Roman Reigns, doesn't get Roman Reigns. He gets Paul Heyman, who absolutely steals the show, doesn't even need to say who he is, just starts mocking John Cena's theme song out there. Do. Like, Paul Heyman, this is the man who gave us ECW. He's just a violent man, and now he's out here just making fun of theme songs. What is that?
Bro, so the moment he started doing that, all it reminded me of was, I don't know anybody who watches the Joe Budden podcast, but Joe Budden was making fun of the song Taste by Tiger. And he was doing it, and he was doing that with the. So that's all this reminded me of when he's like, I've never seen Paul Heyman skip and just be jolly and be merry. I was captivated.
It's amazing. Here's a guy who he is the mouthpiece for killers. He's Brock Lesnar's guy. He's Roman Reigns' guy. And he's having the time of his life because honestly, Paul Heyman works best with an audience, and nobody is feeling that audience more than Paul Heyman. It's absolutely great. And surprisingly, as we'll talk about, that's the last we saw of John Cena tonight. We didn't see him after the promo with Paul.
But see, here's the thing too. When you've got something like John Cena, you can't overdo it. You know, and it's like I feel like the way that they have been using him is perfect because okay, let's throw it to another example. So you know how it seemed like every week we were seeing Sting for a minute on the AEW side, right?
Yeah.
So it's like they were just coming up with reasons to have Sting out there. And Sting is special. You want to have him when there's something to say or when you can make a moment, right? So right now with Cena, they're making moments off of that. So it's like you got the moment with Roman. You had the moment on Raw where, of course, you got to pop the rating, brother, after the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
And now you've got this cool little moment that he's got here where it's like, hey, listen, I want Roman. And they're not just immediately paying it off as we saw at the end of the show, right?
That's
but
right.
We still got a cool moment with him and Heyman with the do, which you're going to hear that all night. You're going to hear that all night. When I'm in a good mood, I'm just going to do that.
Look, Paul Heyman, he gets it. He started John on SmackDown 20 years ago. I'm sure Cena's having the time of his life working with Paul. But later on in the evening, Roman Reigns comes out and he addresses John Cena. He says, look, I thought we were going to get Hollywood Cena. I thought you came back fresh. Meanwhile, it's the same old thing. It's the same promo. It's boring. It's lame. It's like missionary every night. And a tribal chief doesn't get down like that. Now, I know this hits you in a very special place because you're wholesome. You're all about the wholesomeness, and Roman's out here being a creep.
Roman, you talking about acknowledging, and you acknowledging, like it was just more information than I needed. We were going somewhere, and then he was like, oh, let me swerve over here to missionary position. And then it's not that he said, I'm bored of this missionary style stuff, right? He implied immediately after, oh, we don't do that over here.
Oh, yeah.
We be doing some other stuff over here. So now it's like, I'm over here just, what do you mean by other things, Roman? Meanwhile, you've got a considerable female and gay and what have you contingent of the timeline having a flash flood warning, because not only has he confirmed that it ain't just missionary, but he hasn't confirmed that nothing else is off the table. And I'm just concerned.
See, now you've fed into all the fantasies, you fed into all the fan fiction. They now know that acknowledge me is something that he is very comfortable saying and playing around with. And now the timeline's got all the more reason to thirst after Roman. But that's why John Cena's trying to bring the wholesomeness. He said, I'm trying to keep the respect and the dignity in WWE. And Roman's not about to have that. Because another person who gets the timeline all bothered, Finn Balor, comes out and says, all right, screw Cena. Fight me. And it didn't take long for him to look at him and go, you're on.
And it's just, it's like, first and foremost, too, since we're talking Finn, again, energy. The energy level on Finn. My guy. Like, he's back. You could tell he was having a good time on NXT. And then he rolls through SmackDown, and it's just like, you know, the way he was amped up, the way he was throwing himself into his moves, the way that he was moving around, like the energy. And I feel like a lot of them are energized too because those crowds are back, which is so important as we're seeing. Like, it's so hard watching a lot of the great moments that we had during technically it's still a pandemic era, but the crowds are back. And it was hard watching a lot of those moments without real reaction being there. So now that they're getting it, you could tell who's really digging into it. And between his performance, you know, Roman cutting that killer promo and then giving veiled hints as to what he's into, and then you got Finn out there. You know what I'm saying? You got Roman out there. The hurricane warnings are all out there. It's work rate and wetness all across the timeline. Okay, the W's in Yule. You know what I mean? This is money matchup though. This is
poor Morrison. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of dripsticks going around on Twitter right now. You know, Morrison's got to keep that trademark tight. Because we got the nerd guru over here. Look, pal, we're trying to keep this wholesome. I don't need to know what Roman gets at the table. You don't even know what Roman gets at the table.
Surely you did not mean to. You meant the head of the table. Not
yes, that's a typo there. Clean up your act, man. That is true. Roman Reigns was getting a what chant, and that missionary line, that stopped that dead in its tracks.
What can you do with that? What can you do? Like, if there was one thing I wasn't looking forward to with crowds being back, it was definitely that chant. I thought that chant would be dead by now. Yeah. And we're still here.
WWE tried to put out a TikTok encouraging the what chants, and I don't understand it. Like, why would you want that? I get crowd interaction is great, but we need to bring it up into this century. That's 20 years ago. I ain't having it. Anthony Velasquez says, Finn Balor and Roman Reigns, I'm down. They never said it would be at SummerSlam, so Cena and Roman definitely still happening at SummerSlam. That is true. They never said when it would be. I'm thinking we get Cena and Finn Balor one-on-one. I don't think that they've done that match. And the winner gets Roman.
They have. When Finn Balor came through and had like his little miracle evening when he debuted on Raw, he beat
Roman. Yeah,
in that tournament for the Universal Championship.
But has he beaten John?
You talking about Finn? I'm talking about Finn and Roman.
Yeah, Finn and Roman definitely have done it before, but I'm thinking
Finn
gets to fight Cena and the winner gets Roman.
Okay, so you like. Wow, I never even thought about that. Because didn't Roman accept Finn's challenge, though?
Yeah, but it's still John. He can still force his way into things. John has stroke.
I'm trying to picture that because it's like Finn versus John. No, that hasn't happened before, bro.
I think that'd be pretty good. But
wait, I think we got one in there. Survivor Series 2017, Finn and John?
Oh, they were on opposite sides of the ring, but they did not wrestle one-on-one.
It wasn't a one-on-one match. Okay.
Right.
I'm for that, though. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Cena's had plenty of time to rest.
So, Cena did just work a dark match at the tapings. He teamed with the Mysterios to pick up a win over, I think, Roman and the Usos. But he hasn't wrestled a match on TV, I think, since maybe the Super Show Down Under with Bobby Lashley when he fought Kevin Owens and Elias.
I think he'll be fine, though. Like, knowing his kind of work ethic, like, you know, I don't think with Cena that's something that just turns off. I think it's one of those cases where it's just waiting to go. And the thing is, I'm excited because now he's got the Brock schedule. You know what I'm saying? So he just wrestles when it's time to wrestle. He don't have to do the house shows. He don't have to do all the TVs. I think it's gonna be good to go, man.
That is true. And we got Hannah M over here just being terrible. Roman has stroke too. Good Lord. Settle down.
How would you know, Hannah?
Yeah, really? Like,
would you know?
Fantasies don't account for everything, man. You know, God.
The only stroke I want to acknowledge in this episode is by Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Jarrett only. The chosen one, okay? And that's right. It.
Somebody hit Kid Rock, please. And Finn Balor was in action, though. He took on Sami Zayn. Great match. These two are always good together. You know, Finn Balor wins with the coup de grace. Fine win for Finn. I like it. I like that he's back on the main roster. I like that he's kicking ass again. Hopefully, the NXT excursion has him remotivated.
It was a fun match. And the thing that I liked about that match, too, is the fact that it never got a chance to really, like, settle. You know, if we're talking in traditional wrestling terms, it's like, okay, this is guys, everything to do, and here comes the heat, and here comes the comeback. There was just a lot of back and forth. Even the commercials didn't really hurt the flow. And again, energy. Like, there was just good energy coming off of Sammy, good energy coming off of Finn. It was an easy watch. Like, SmackDown usually is an easy watch.
SmackDown is, for me at least, the better of the two main roster shows, but it's also 1 hour shorter, which I think helps it tremendously.
Absolutely.
You know? And then we go backstage and Baron Corbin talking to Caleb Braxton. He's got a stain on his shirt. He reveals that the guy he got to set up the Corbin Fund Me just stole his identity, stole his credit cards. He has less money than he did before. And then later on, Shotzi and Knox hit him in the balls with their tank. And Kevin Owens, great guy Kevin Owens, I think everybody knows he's a great guy, gives him some money and has to chase off Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs. Looks like Kevin Owens is actually going to try to help out Baron Corbin find his happy side.
So this is like a very Hallmark movie storyline. If there was, it was like this big bad dude. Now he's trying to, you know, he's rock bottom. Now he's trying to, you know, turn another leaf over. By the way, shout out to Hans Molman. I haven't seen a groin shot that good since hit in the groin by football.
Football in the groin, indeed. That is a cinema masterpiece. Football in the groin. McBain couldn't do it any better, but he tried. Hans Molman is where it's at. Support your independent artists.
It's the Oscar winner every year, all year, if I had something to do with that. By the way, Baron Corbin looks how I felt during that court case Wednesday evening. Because, like, it was rough. It was rough.
We got another super chat here from Richie Goodace. Says, for the longest time, I didn't think Roman was the guy he was. He was just in the wrong role. Roman rules. And I agree. Roman kicks ass right now. Roman is living his best life. This character is the best we've ever seen of Roman. And it's just been phenomenal to watch this run.
Well, he's been real detailed with his work, from like just like the word choices, the looks, or the things that he does in the middle of his stuff. Like, he's become a very detailed character, from his matches to his promos to all of that stuff. And it's just compelling stuff to watch. And what I like about it too is he's such a good heel. It's getting any baby that he's in there with over. It's like, and the thing is, he's so captivating to watch, because sometimes people can be so polarizing with Cena, but it's the perfect storm, because Cena's been gone so long, people don't want to hate on him. And Roman's been a dick for so long that it's like, it's the perfect storm of things. And we got Balor coming back at the time he's coming back too. It's good. It's good storytelling.
And indeed, it is good storytelling. And, we got another super chat here from the Nerd Guru saying, Balor looked great tonight, as he should be, but if they drop the ball again, I think he's gone. I think there's a Bullet Club feud that needs the creator. That is true. Everywhere right now, the Bullet Club is having a good time. AEW, Impact. Balor could be in the mix if you wanted to be.
It's wild times right now, man, because it's like you got WWE with their universe. Like, not to make the comparison, right? But like, you got WWE, and they're just contained in their little universe, but they still know how to make cool moments happen, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like over here, everywhere else, no spoilers, but they literally had like the season 6, not the season 6, but the episode 6 low-key ending, where like now you've got all these different possibilities all over the place with how people are showing up in companies, and it's wild, like, just to see what could happen and where people could go at this point in time. So I think it's good for people who like wrestling, because you just don't know what you're going to get at this point. And WWE, say what you will, when they fall on their face, they fall on their face. But when they try to deliver a moment and they deliver, it's good stuff.
It does kind of feel like Doctor Strange is handling the booking outside of WWE, because the multiverse is definitely a thing, and it's colliding, and it's good to see.
Like Tony Khan's cutting checks though. Like, yeah. Well, I'm looking at what he's bringing together and how this stuff is going together. It's like, hey, you want a death match on American TV? Cool, go crazy. You want Nick Gage on regular? Like I thought Nick Gage would have been something they would have saved for pay-per-view. Hell no, let's go do it next week.
TV is making more money. Why not put Nick Gage on TV? Now, you put Nick Gage on TV and he goes too far, then we'll know where the line is. But I think that'll be fun to see.
But that's the beauty.
That's the beauty of it.
If there was ever a guy that I would have never thought would get to TV, but I'm so glad it's happening for him, it's Nick Gage. Like, you see a guy like Nick Gage, you know his story, you see what's going on, and it's just one of them cases where like there's an intrigue there. There's like an aura that's very hard to get from people, because anybody who's seen a Nick Gage match or been in a locker room with him, that man is real. Like, he loves this. He literally died for this and came back. So whether it's one-off or whether it turns into something, I hope Nick Gage makes millions and millions and millions of dollars at whatever it is that he does. And I hope he lives long enough to be able to eat all the Whoppers that he can enjoy and like just do good, man. And for all the people that got something to say about his background and his past and what that's got to do with wrestling, I just say, yeah.
And that's all you really need to say. Now we got another super chat here, maybe one close to home for you, from Valaba, saying, no justice. Trial was rigged. We've been cheated. Wholesome gang, canned, hoodwinked, flim-fam, bamboozled.
All I'm saying is that anytime I had an objection, I was come down on. Like, this trial was about Faye Jackson, but I received more questions than Faye Jackson, and I was the prosecutor. Okay, when you got the bailiff, the judge, the defense attorney, the witnesses coming down on you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna
You know who was not at the trial, and it might have helped you if he was. Big E. Big E Langston. He skipped out on the trial because he says it was past his bedtime.
9:30.
And it checks out too, because 8:30, he's on TV. I guess he had to make it to bed. Because Big E, he gets into it, he thanks the crowd. Apollo comes out, tries to say, I'm still Intercontinental Champion. Ziggler and Rude come out for some reason, and they're talking about if anybody should be Intercontinental Champion, it's them. Then Nakamura comes out, Cesaro comes out, everybody brawls, and they have a dark tag team match, but we don't see it because we go over to Rolling Loud.
Oh yeah, I thought this was 6-man city. I was ready for it. I guess it made sense until I'm with you on the whole the Dirty Dogs thing.
Yeah.
Because last time I saw the little co-parenting of a title was Lay Cool. Layla, we miss you.
Yes.
We miss you.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So as I was saying, wholesome thoughts. As I was saying, nobody's done the co-parenting with a title thing before, so I guess they're trying to do that. But I think that would have been a fire 6-man if they had went ahead and just ran with it. But
now the live crowd did get to see it. The baby faces did win the match. Good time for them. Joe Pearl asking, who is this Langston I speak of? You see, Joe, I put respect on the man's name. That's what he wants. That's what I give him. He wants the Langston. I'll give him the Langston, even if his company does not. Now, but we go over to Rolling Loud, and Rolling Loud was supposed to have Big E, but instead we get Wale introducing the Street Profits, and Angelo Dawkins successfully beats Chad Gable, followed by Bianca Belair beating Carmella. What did you think about WWE at Rolling Loud?
So I'm honestly a bit torn on it because I was excited and I thought the entire show was happening from Rolling Loud. And then I realized they were going to do a split, and it's okay, that's cool. So when I initially see it, that is a crazy setup to be in front of all those people, the way that that's set up and everything, right? I'm looking through the timeline too while I'm watching it just to get an idea. It's not just me. I hope I'm not going crazy or anything. And when I'm getting a look, it's okay. The matches they had were fine. To me, when you've got a casual, ultra casual crowd, they came for the baby, they came for Lil Baby, they came for, all of that. I feel like you got to throw something out there that's really going to make them be oh, for real? What's this? They have people jump brands all the time. So that one time Jeff Hardy appearance, or maybe you put Montez versus Ricochet one time, 6 minutes, all gas, no brakes, and just let them do dumb stuff for a little bit, blow some people's high because they can't believe what they're seeing, But I'm not the booker. They're just putting out what they're putting out. The matches were fine, but it's they were matches for a crowd that's not used to pro wrestling. To me, the way that looked,
it seemed like they were going paint by numbers. Now, Bianca, I would have immediately had Bianca start whipping Carmella with the hair. Because people would have been like, oh, okay, I get this. Even if I don't watch this, or even if I haven't seen wrestling outside of John Cena, Randy Orton, I get this. I like this. I would have skipped the singles match and maybe found another one to do. Maybe like you said, a Ricochet or a Jeff Hardy. Something to maybe get the crowd hyped, even though obviously they're not there for wrestling.
I want something to happen in one of those matches where everybody got to pull their phone out because they know they about to see something crazy or whatever it is. I'm not saying it's got to be too over the top, but for that kind of crowd, if you got somebody going to the top rope about to come off with something, or big dive or something like that, something that's just going to make people pull their phones out. The other thing I could not help but miss. I can't believe I'm saying it. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I miss Morrow. This was tailor-made for Morrow to commentate on, and he was not there. And it was so weird hearing this to me is a for the culture call out right here. it's so weird for like Michael Cole and Pat McAfee to be dropping, oh, little baby, and yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, ASAP Rocky, you meant ASAP Rocky, and it's like we never hear you really talk about these guys any other time unless there's something to plug, and it's like it just came off so like name droppy.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though some people were getting on Morrow about the fact that's like, why does he always got to bring up a rap lyric? Why he always got to bring up a rapper? You can tell he loves it. And I think he would have just benefited. You don't know what you got till it's gone, man.
It's true. You know, I would have put something like I thought maybe Sasha would have come back last week. Maybe then you put Sasha Banks and Bianca in like a 20-minute match at Rolling Loud. It's if you don't know her from wrestling, you might know her from The Mandalorian, something to get the people excited. But maybe they'll be back next year. I hope they are. And it would be a lot better if they know what they're doing next time. Like, got the Nerd Guru saying, Morrow and Pat McAfee would be my absolute dream team. I encourage you to find the promo Pat cut on Cole tonight. It's hilarious.
Oh. Okay, he definitely got something going on here.
McAfee is great. McAfee,
I love him.
He definitely loves it. He's definitely passionate. So it's exciting to see him there, but I agree. Somebody else could have probably done a little bit more justice to this. I am glad that they were there, though. It's cool to see WWE branching out again.
The feel of commentary, also, I like it because I think they're not trying so hard to have one of them be like the bad guy commentator and one of them be the good guy commentator. It's just two guys just watching it and reacting to what's going on. And I think they got great chemistry together, man. Like, I have fun with it. That was the only bit that just had me kind of like, and maybe it's not so off brand for Pat, but it's like it was so rapid fire with all the names they were dropping and this and that and all this other stuff. And I'm like great concept. This ain't it all the way, but I'm glad it's happening. Hopefully it'll happen again in some other fashion or whatever it is. It does make me think if we had a company like, say, Impact, I really think Impact could have, like with their kind of roster, could have went to Rolling Loud and did some wild stuff, some crazy stuff.
I agree. You know, Impact would have had some fun with it. Maybe even AEW hooks up with the festival down the line. That'd be a lot of fun. I am just so happy to see wrestling branching out from just wrestling, because even though we all love it, it's not the end all be all, and they could stand the rub from some of these other brands. Got a super chat here from Cyclops saying, justice for Faye, no justice, no peace for my queen. Thoughts?
Look, man, y'all let a menace walk, okay? Oh. This was straight OJ Simpson behavior on her behalf. She walked after like having, okay, the jury was never discussed. We never discussed striking or putting together a jury. All these witnesses that were put out to antagonize me. Ring courtroom, I did my best to keep my composure, but I'm only human. And then the moment that she gets found not guilty, it's not even 10 minutes later that she drops the freaking picture that she could have just dropped in the first place in some very OJ behavior. I'm saying.
Are you saying there was a hung jury?
That is not what I said, and you know, it's the look. You were smirking. You were in a smirk, okay? So you don't get the Paul Heyman do. You get the Joe Budden do.
Fair enough. Had to try it. Send your super chat again, and I will read it. Oh yeah, I read this. No justice. He reacted. He appreciates the support.
See, now that one is a That one is that one, okay? There's a difference.
I get it.
Thank you, bro.
So we also had Toni Storm debut tonight. She fought Zelina Vega, and she beat Zelina Vega. Simple, clean. I like it.
That's how you introduce somebody. Hey, this is a hot prospect. Put over her stuff. Comes in there, handles business. We move on to the next thing. Toni dropping that ruby cutter for a finish. The first time I seen anybody do that was Dean Allmark on his Instagram. So it was bound to happen. Somebody was going to get it. If she can hit it that clean every time, that's going to be a mad finish, man. Like, I love it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that she's on SmackDown. She's a babyface. She wasn't on NXT, but it is a different world. And I'm just glad to see her there. Zelina is still on a losing streak, but she'll find her path. And whenever they put her again with like another talent to manage, whether it's Angel Garza or whoever it may be, I think Zelina will be back to kicking ass.
I don't know really what's going on over there because there was a lot of fanfare about her coming back because I think everybody expected her not to. And it's just like for me, if you're gonna have that kind of fanfare about somebody coming back, I guess you wanna do something like you wanna have a story or you wanna have something to pursue. So I'm just waiting to see what it is, you know.
You know, it's a little surprising. No Liv Morgan. Several weeks now, the women's division has been built around her. And there was no Liv Morgan tonight to pay off from even the disappointment of losing Money in the Bank.
I feel like Liv, like I'm wondering, especially over the last few years, because like she's the last Riot Squad member standing. I feel like they'll have these moments where they give her a lot of attention, and then it just goes away like that. And the thing is, I think for anybody that's been watching, she's definitely had a chance to really improve on a lot of areas for the time that she's been on the main roster. And I'm just waiting on her to get like a
Oh, I think we might have a bit of a delay. We did lose. I'm guessing it's one of the those Faye Jackson supporters, but what you gonna do?
All right. That was me?
Yeah, that was you.
My bad. See, Faye trying to hack my internet too. She ruining my life. She's ruining my life.
And now they're dropping F's in the chat. I think it's supposed to be for respect for you, but it's backfiring. It's F for Faye. What are you gonna do?
Ruin my life, man.
Yeah.
Ruin my life. They're gonna take my license, dude. They're gonna take my license to practice.
But I do appreciate Zelina being back. I hope that they put her with someone, you know? What are you gonna do?
All you can do is just hope for the best.
And then we got Jimmy Uso with Jey Uso in there with Dominic. Got a little sloppy at the end, like they were clearly trying to go for some kind of roll-up, counter roll-up, and they got there eventually. A full Uso came into the ring to put his feet there to support his brother. Referee doesn't say anything. I don't know where these referees get their eyes checked. It's concerning, but Jimmy gets the win, and the Mysterios are back to being underdog babyfaces. I'm cool with it. These tag team divisions are just like they're dead. They need to merge them or something. They need to do something with the tag teams. I miss seeing good competitive tag team wrestling.
Well, you know, like it's an ebb and flow. It's a cycle, right? So, like WWE will have moments where they'll just have a bunch of great tag teams at one time, and then they'll have moments where they just split everybody up. So, like, it gets real weird, and it's like at the very least, I guess if you're gonna have the SmackDown tag team titles on anybody, why not the Usos? I mean, they're an awesome team when it's all said and done. I know it would definitely solve a lot of problems of what to do with people if they put some tag teams together. But in the meantime, what can you do?
You know, you got a guy like Bobby Roode. He's in the tag team division when it's like Bobby Roode could have been a world champion. Bobby Roode's been on pay-per-views with Sting, Kurt Angle. He could have been in that world title picture. Dolph Ziggler should have been a world champion a decade ago. I just feel like there are other people you could use by putting them in a tag team. Yeah, that's about all you can say at the end of the day.
I just don't make the decisions, and like, but the things that I definitely do notice are it's like what's the best way I can put it? Like I feel for a lot of the guys that do the NXT run and then come up because you definitely start seeing, like, I imagine with NXT having a more tighter knit team. And there are people who really are taking that time to understand and kind of craft this stuff. Like there was the discourse about Karrion Kross, you know, and how like this is a man that they specifically put in a position to be undefeated, never put his shoulders to the mat, et cetera, et cetera. And then he comes to Raw, and then it's like,
Jeff Hardy gets him,
getting beat. But the thing about it is, it's like that should really let people know it's a different world once you get ready to go ahead and do that. And like, whether you watched OVW back in the day when it was a development territory or all this other stuff, they're really letting you know that when they come to SmackDown or when they come to Raw, it's a different world. And a lot of these people that they have, I imagine, on creative don't necessarily know how to translate this lightning that they had in NXT all the way up to this major brand. And it's a little sad because you would think in some cases it'd be simple, but like in a case of Bobby Roode, we missed the boat. But we can say that about a lot of guys.
And like, I don't know how you missed the boat on a guy like Bobby Roode when he's been ready to go. You have so many people in WWE backstage who've been in the ring with him. Just work with them. But it is a different world, and that's all it is at the end of the day. But guys, get some super chats in, get your question or statement read on the air. Like this one I had missed from Richard Goodis saying, I feel like Big E didn't need to be in the segment he was in because he's moved past the IC title. Yeah, I'm ready to see Big E just challenge for a world championship. And Dolph Ziggler even said, when he gets it, it'll be one of the best moments ever if they do it right.
So here's my question for you, because this is a big theory that's going on, and I wonder if we'll ever get to that. But you can't help but ask: do they move the title over to Cena, or is E finally the one to unseat Roman?
I don't think they move it over to Cena because I think he's gone after SummerSlam. I would love to see E try, but if he tries, he has to win. Like, that's the thing. If you're going to have him try, he has to win because it'll be such an important moment for the crowd. And as we've seen with these hot crowds, there's no reason to kill a crowd if you can give them exactly what they want. So whenever E does try, I assume it'll be Roman, and I hope he wins it.
Call me crazy. I think there's going to be a switch. Like, to me, I get it because of the way they've put Roman's reign together. It'd be crazy for E to be the one, like, after all these people Roman is beat. It'd be crazy if E was the one to go ahead and do it. He'd be like an instant made man. He already is a made man, but that would through the roof. But I got a feeling they're gonna move it before then. And like, I don't think it's necessarily the craziest thing in the world if the schedule permits, if they move it to Cena. I think it might happen.
I think it would be a great moment. I think Cena is, for a lot of people, he's our Hulk Hogan, so I think that would be an awesome moment. I just don't think it happens at the expense of Roman Reigns because he's on a run that you can't kill. And no, we didn't go over Seth and Edge. We're going to get to that in a little bit.
Look, Cena said that he's got to do it for missionary position, okay? Because Roman disrespected missionary. So he's got to take the title, not just to get WWE back on track, but to put respect back on missionary again.
It really is. Cena is out there fighting for the Hank Hills of the world that are saying there's nothing wrong with the same old, same old.
What?
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with it. But we did have a segment here with Seth Rollins and Edge. Edge comes out and he says he's been in the Brood. He's been in the Ministry of Darkness. I don't know if this means he's going to start being a gothic vampire again.
What a call out.
He does promise pain for Seth Rollins. Now, this has been building for 7 years. Seth Rollins had literally said, I'm going to kill you anyway. Now he might have his chance. I hope this isn't a one-on-one regular match. I hope it's no DQ. I hope it's TLC, something with physicality being allowed to go to the next level whenever they do decide to do it.
Dude. Okay, can we talk about Seth Rollins for a minute? Seth Rollins has reached the point with this character that he's in where it's like his laugh makes me laugh because it's so overblown. It's like 60s Batman, the way that he laughs. Like he's always twirling the mustache every time he's talking about something. And it's just, Oh God, like him during this whole segment is like a whole capsule of just the character that he's on shouldn't work, but he's so like waist deep into it. It just works. They love my drip. They love my drip. I think he's like, I always feel like whoever he's about to feud with, he's about to tie to the train tracks. And like that's the near fall, like the train tracks or whatever it is. But I love it. I love what he's on. It's working for him.
It is. I like Edge more as a heel, but he hasn't gotten to work in front of a crowd. So if we do ever see him turn again, I don't think it'll be for anytime soon. But I know we had a super chat here. I'm hoping I didn't miss it, asking about the potential of doing something with Beth and Becky, which I think would be great. You know, I might have missed it, so if you can send that one again, please do. But Becky did get in Edge's face when she was starting her I'm the Man character. So I'd like to see Becky added in when it's time. But Becky's so beloved and Rollins is so reviled. Like, there's no way you can put them together right now.
They got to be careful how you're absolutely right. They got to be careful. I don't think it necessarily needs it. It would be cool to see, but it's like, how do you maneuver that? Especially without what you're saying, damaging Becky.
Right, because even when they had them together as both baby faces, there were a lot of people saying, oh, well, the chemistry there is off. The chemistry there would be really off now with them coming from two totally different sides of it. I got Cyclops here saying there's nothing wrong with Missionary with a little bit of eye contact. And all right, nothing wrong with some good eye contact. I do agree. Eye contact is great.
Are you looking? Hey, look at me.
See that?
Look at me. Yes.
We're having a moment.
We're having a moment right now, man. Are you feeling something right now?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
All right. Hold on. I got to hit you with the smolder. Sapp.
You know what? I think we just had a moment.
Okay. I think we did.
That was beautiful. And I thank you.
All right. You know.
But now
I can't let Roman get all the wetness moments. I can't let him.
You can't. It's just not fair. Roman's out there causing a flood and we're just trying to catch some of the downpour. You know, it's not fair.
Who said that? I see somebody in the chat. I got the chat running on the side. Who said that's how Suge lost? Man,
all right. Let's listen. That was SmackDown. That was SmackDown. We got Finn Roman happening. Let's get into this trial. Let's get into this trial. What happened? Got Austin Creed.
Say it like that? Like what?
Because you got Austin Creed sitting there watching. I know he's a Creep Squad guy. You got Drake Maverick was there. You're breaking Twitter Spaces. What's happening?
So okay. First and foremost, I would just like to point out this wasn't like some kind of planned thing, or we're gonna do this or we're gonna do that. Faye, under her own volition, decided that she was gonna go out there and tweet what she tweeted about Big E. So me being me and seeing all the discourse that it caused on the timeline, I have no it. Look, Faye is like a sister that I did not want. I never asked for. Okay, I have my 11-year-old brother, like my 11-year-old older brother. I did not need a sister in my life, but just did not. But here she is. So I have no interest in any news that she has to show, even though I know there would be plenty of people. But I am big on people keeping their promises. And she was ducking and dodging, trying to keep this promise. So the talk went to doing a court thing because we had shout out to Seahawk. We had his trial on Twitter Spaces, and we had like a crazy turnout for that. I think we did like 500, 600 there. So we just decided to run with it, and we broke the room like 2 or 3 times because I think it was 1,200 plus. And then, but they kept coming back every time. I thought it would get lower every time the room broke, but it's like more people kept coming in. So yeah, you know, it's a different kind of pressure in there, man, because I thought we were just having a little court case in front of some interested parties, and then you start seeing all these check marks coming in there and all this other stuff like that. And I thought my game was down tight. Okay. I stuck to the facts. I discussed that promises were made and they were broken, the ducking and dodging, the card subject to change. And then things tripped up on me because Swole does what Swole does. And then they calling special witnesses into my character. And we got bailiffs that are talking about they're going to beat me down. And you got judges saying that I ain't shit. And it does a lot to a man's soul, okay?
I can only imagine.
So I had a good cry about it after that night, but I woke up the next day. I took all the L's in my mentions. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to take this piece of positivity with you. If you get enough L's, specifically, it only takes 2. 1 L and another L eventually leads to a learning lesson that will lead you to a W. Yeah. Because we are winning. Because we trended number 1. Suge trended number 3. Everybody's living. Black wrestling Twitter was going crazy. And furthermore, I think the biggest thing too is if it's right back to just being compelling. If you got a story that people want to see, you got good characters to be able to tell it, you have a space that you can bring people around to do it, you can make some crazy stuff happen. Like, never did I think in the world that Faye Jackson, and all BS aside, she does deserve it. I never thought I would see the day that a non-contracted, never been signed to anything, just totally honest, totally beautiful, voluptuous Black woman's wrestler who is now retired would be the number 1 trend in all of America with no help from TV. Crazy things happen every day, guys.
I mean, that speaks to the power of just the community in general. But, you know, never say never in wrestling. Everybody does come out of retirement. Do you think this attention was enough to at least already get the wheels in motion to say, hey, maybe I'm not done?
I know there's other trials in the works and everything to that effect. I know Dunkerton, we're going to have to take a moment to get our lives together. That really rocked the offices, the fact that the prosecution didn't go good. I'm still undefeated in defense trials, but that prosecution thing really took me out. However, not to plug, but to plug, I'll be recording the first episode of my new podcast next week. Suge Has No Answers. And I'm actually going to have the innocent party, Faye Jackson, along with her defense attorney, Swole, on the episode. And we're going to get a little bit more in depth behind the scenes about that. And we're also going to talk about a subject that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I think Black women's wrestlers have a ton of influence on wrestling culture, but I feel like as far as centerpieces and focal points, it's very rare to ever see them get that. So we'll definitely have that conversation from 2 that I feel are really great at that. So Suge Has No Answers, coming everywhere that you can get podcasts. We're recording next week. Yep.
That is awesome. And what about bookings? Where can people book you? Where can they follow you? All that good stuff.
At Sugar Dunkerton on Twitter, but you know this already because
it's right down there.
Adding me and trash talking me since Wednesday night, man. At Sugar Dunkerton for show. On Instagram, ProWrestlingTees.com/Sugar Dunkerton. I got shirts. I got all sorts of shirts. Buy a shirt. It's great. I often talk about my bookings a lot on Twitter. Like this weekend, I'm gonna be going to New South, so me and Danhausen can tangle Hausen, and I slap him around Hausen or whatever it is, like Hausen, whatever. Hausen. And yeah, other than that, dude, it's like it's just strange times. Like just thinking about Wednesday just seems so surreal.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so used to Twitter being like a toxic space sometimes, and you're constantly trying to avoid the puddles. But like for one day, it was just a bunch of people from different companies and fans and all this other stuff getting together for something stupid, and everybody just had fun.
Yeah, and that was good to see. We were actually on with the post AEW show, and this trial was all anyone wanted to talk about. So that was amazing to see you guys do that. That was awesome. Guys, If I missed your super chat, resend it and we will get to it again. Okay. Those face supporters are devious, trying to silence the truth. Fight the good fight. I know you appreciate that. Also, do you think we could get a new John Cena look by SummerFest?
Jeremy Piven reference. Yes.
I would love to see a new John Cena look. I'm not crazy about the green, but they have invested in that green and gold, so I don't think we're getting new anything by SummerSlam.
Look, let's keep it real. If John Cena came out the curtain in the debut against Kurt Angle, matching boots with the matching biker tights, y'all be like, "What the hell, guys? What is this?" No, that's not what you want. Okay, you want the jean shorts with the sneakers, all of this going on and whatnot. You say that you want a new look until he give you a new look.
I think, John, at this point, there's no reason to change John Cena. He's golden. Somebody saying Jeremy Lambert is a savage. He is, and he's great, and he was also live at SmackDown tonight. I like John. I'm not crazy about the green, but I think to change John Cena right now, it's not worth it.
Well, it's iconic now.
Yeah.
That's the look. It's just like when Hogan didn't do the red and yellow right away, and then he brought it back, and everybody was just, yes, that's what we wanted. That's the look.
That's it. And that is cool. And that will about do it for us tonight on the Fightful SmackDown review show. Thank you all. Support Suge. Support him. Buy a t-shirt. He's got to pay for legal fees because he's going to sue some people for all the bullshit they put him through. Support Fightful Select. That is our lifeblood. Sean had stories this week about Randy Orton, about some guy named CM Punk that may or may not have broke the internet. Support Fightful Select. Support everything we got going on. Follow me on Twitter at DudeFelice. Check out everything I'm doing every day over at Fightful.com. And that'll do us in. And until next time, guys, we're out.
Had a great time, man. Y'all be good. Doop, doop.